Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I am here with day 24 of Follow a Sketch February, which is through Scrapping Reflections on Facebook. You can also check out the videos that State Goddess posts every day. It is her baby. She started a couple of years ago and this is my first year following along. I have enjoyed following every day and posting a new video each day and creating new layouts. So today's sketch is this one. And I feel like I say this every time. I am certain that says something, but I don't know what. So if I find out, I will gladly post it in the comments or make a comment below. So it is one picture and I am kind of following that. Mine is two pictures, but it's like one extended picture really, but I will show you just a second. And it is a half and half layout with what looks like a mat in the back, some embellishing clusters, a strip down the middle, some journaling or word phrases, and then of course a title. So here is the sketch. And I have decided I am going to pull out my beach paper crafting kit from the paper studio. I have not used this at all, so I don't see anything missing. So there should be two of each of these papers in here. So I love these papers. This is gorgeous, and I'm almost 100% sure I'll be using that and maybe this one. But who knows? Once I get in there, it could be anything. So I'm going to predominantly use these papers and the embellishments and stickers and the letters, alphas that go with it. It's for my title and everything. Not to say I won't bring some things in and some this and that's for my collection, but I definitely want the predominant amount of this layout to be from this paper kit. That is so noisy. I try not to touch the packaging very much on these videos. So I'm going to use this Craft Solid cardstock as my base. So I went ahead and pulled that out. And here are the pictures. Well, maybe here are the pictures. Yep. So we are at the beach, and there was a huge dune, and so we were on the other side of it, a big sand drift right there, and so we turned around, and all you could see was our heads. So some of us were laying down, some of us were just sitting there, and then here's my mother in her chair. So it was such a big picture that I couldn't fit it all. So I am going to merge these to where they lay right. And so it will have, I'm not cutting. It will have like a higher part here and a lower part here, but I don't care because I think that'll look really cool. I've done that with some other layouts before. So that is the plan for this. That's why I said that it was one picture really. So my son's head, I can see the top of his head. Oh gosh. So we always have fun at the beach. So I've got my pictures, I've got some papers and a paper kit. I have my sketch. So let's see how this goes. So the first thing I did was get everything out from the kit, all the papers. There are 10 different papers, or 5 different papers, 2 of each. And I picked the ones that I thought I would, the sandy one, and this, what to me, the way I lay it, looks like a sunset or a sunrise. And I am going to use those, and with this cardstock. And I'm measuring the cardstock because sometimes cardstock is not exactly 12 inches. I know that is probably every scrapbooker's biggest frustration, or at least in the very top of the list, close to the top of the list. So I go ahead and cut my papers at 5 3/4, and then I end up cutting 1 inch off the side. So they are 11 by 5 3/4. And it is not laid down exactly evenly when I put it down on this craft paper. But my guess is, if you've watched any of my videos, you know not to expect anything to be perfectly even by me. So I considered trimming a little bit down, but I am perfectly okay with this thinner border. And I think in the sketch it is probably even all the way around. But, you know, that's just not how I do things. So I get those down after fighting with that dang squared dispenser thing. And I'm trying to decide which washi tape I want to use as my strip in the middle. And at first I pull this blue out, and then I decide I want this colorful washi that says risk taker, good vibes, or be a risk taker, do it better, different things like that. And I know that most of this is going to get covered over, and I'm fine with that. It's really the color pattern. There is some purple in it, and there's really no purple in this layout, but I will fix that with a little add on here or there. So I get my pictures out because I feel like that needs to be the next process, and then line them up the way I want them. And then I use this dang square dispenser and use my mat for once and line things up so that they are even. Now, after all is said and done, I realize that in the sketch the picture is tilted, and I did not do that, and I'm okay with that. But I will go back and do another layout with this sketch and tilt it. So I lay it out to where you can still see it says do it on one side and better on the other. So, but it's, like I said, it wasn't that big of a deal to me. And so I can't wait until all the squares are used up in this thing. It tore some of my paper. I don't understand. I swear it's got to be user error. Can't imagine that it's this dispenser. I don't know. Anyway, so I get the pictures down, and I realize after I put them down, I didn't mat them, and I really am okay with that because I fill almost the entire border with things that I tuck in, and that's why I was kind of showing that I could tuck everything in. So I get this sheet of stickers and did not realize that they're like washi. So I mat them all on white cardstock and then fussy cut them. And I did not do that on camera. You are welcome. So I get them all on white so they're going to stand out a little better and not disappear, or you're not going to be able to see all the paper behind it. So then I just start tucking them in all around the page. I don't do those big clusters that there are in the sketch because there's really not as much room to do a big cluster in the bottom right and top left. So I just tuck all of these things in. Some things come over the picture, some things are tucked behind the picture. And as long as it's not covering up anybody, I am perfectly fine with that. There's plenty of sand and sky or plenty of sand and ocean that you can cover some of that up without it being a problem. So I just get all these things tucked in different places. And there's no rhyme or reason. It's just where I feel like it looks the best. And or where it can hang off or, come in front of. Like the anchor in that bottom left corner is tucked partially, but a little bit of it is coming in front of the picture. Gosh, you all, I am so sorry. Whew. And okay, so now I have this circle that is also like washi tape, and it says Sun Sand Waves, and I think it's really cute. It's not my title, but I want to go ahead and put it up on foam. And I'm going to put it up in the top left corner because it has that sunshine on it. I felt like that was a really good place for it. And I don't want it to be down in the bottom right where the title's going to go. So I put my Fun Foam, which is from Walmart. And I put that on there, and I don't want it to dip on the side, so I just add a couple little strips around so it won't dip where it's not got the fun foam. So I'm trying to figure out the exact where I want that to go, and since that life preserver is over there, I didn't want it right next to that, so it'd be like circle after circle. And I'm already going to embellish with some circles and add a couple other things that are circular, so I didn't want them all right on top of each other there and then have nothing circular elsewhere. So there was a couple more things that I wanted to get use, and that was the fish and then this lobster, and I matted those on like a khaki just because I didn't want everything to be stark white. So I put the fish at the top and the lobster down there right underneath where the I put that little strip which matches the paper on the top, and that's where my title is going to go right here. And I'm using the alphas from this, and I start with the first word from the left and then the second word from the right, so there's a gap in between. And I will put a cute little 3D embellishment of a seashell in between there. But first I got to find a place for this cute little hat. And none of it, well, my mom is wearing a hat and my aunt is wearing a hat, but neither one of them look like this, but I'm okay with that. I mean, I titled this Beachheads, so I felt like a hat was a good fit. So I get that on there, and I look on this washi tape paper again, or sticker sheet, to see if there's anything else. And I get one more little square washi, and I put it on some paper, the brown paper as well. And it just says Fun in the Sun. And there's little sunglasses on it, and 3 or 4 of us are wearing sunglasses in this picture. Not that it matters, we are in the sun. So the next step is I get out this used to have my pictures organized in it, and now it has my ephemera and my Dottie About flare pins. No, they're not pins, they're just flare. So I found a couple that I thought would fit color pattern wise, and I add those to my little pile, or my stash of what I'm going to put on this layout. So I found one that has like bubbles, or it could be scales for a fish, but it's like a blue, and I love that. And then the other one has got like some teal and blue and pink, very similar colors to this layout, almost like it was meant to be. So I put those down with some fun foam. Fun fact, the fun foam from, how many times can I say that? From Walmart is the perfect depth to put in these Dottie About flare so that they are not dipping, or you don't have to double layer. You can just put one little square of fun foam in there, and it's perfect. So they are not tacked down yet. They're just in the general idea of where they're going to be. I get my seashells out, and I think these are, let's see, I'm going to look at them. Yep, Francis Myers Incorporated. And I have plenty of seashells, and those are in one of my little bins that I also got out of that photo box. So I fought with this one for a while. Finally, I took the daggone seahorse off to put the shell. I wanted it partially tucked under the picture and under the sun, sand, and waves circle. So I've got bubbles. Those are also from Francis Myers, and I get those on the page, and those are just kind of filling in some spaces. I also use them above the fish and the seahorse. And then there's a few down at the bottom that actually go on top of the picture. Just as those little clusters that we like to put on there that are attractive to the eye. So I just put those on there in different places, and then I adhese my Dottie About flare in the top right and close to the bottom left, right above the anchor. And now I am trying to figure out where else I want to put some things and tuck a few more of the little bubbles around just for some extra coverage, as well as just to add a little bit more to the layout. And then I get this sticker sheet empty packet, and I get out the first color I use is the Faded Jeans, and this is Distress Oxide from Tim Holtz. and tap that out on the bottom. And then I also add some Salty Ocean, super fitting. And then I move the little thing down and do the mustard seed on the top. So it's more along the lines of like a sunshine at the top and the ocean at the bottom. And I then feel like I'm getting close to done. I get out the Paper Studio gemstones and I put those down and I bring in some purple here. I also brought some purple in with the seashells, the Francis Myers seashells. So there is purple in at least 3 portions or 3 corners of these clusters. So I made a little boo-boo here, and because there was a little yellow on the bubble and it looked silly, so I kind of dabbed it off and it smeared. So I just get a little bit bigger of a bubble and lay it on top of it. So I am, like I said, very good at covering up the boo-boos, and typically I'm looking to make sure it doesn't look ridiculous. And typically it's okay. Like I can get it to look, not crazy. So in this sketch, there are some journaling spaces right underneath the title or to the side of the title. So I pull out my Tim Holtz Small Talk and find 3 little things. One says stay curious, one says see possibilities everywhere, and one says be authentic, which I thought were all very fitting of these pictures. And so I lay those down kind of staggered down here below where it says beachheads. And then I think that might be it. There's the sketch, and I'm going to show you some close-ups. So hope you all have enjoyed this video. If you would like to watch some more, there are plenty out there. Have a great day, and happy scrapping.